discussing why there was no podcast last week. Also, the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. Also, some Magic the Gathering stuff. But first, my name is Dom Douglas, and I am back-to-back XWW Commentator of the Year. With that comes some responsibilities, but also a lot of fun and excitement, and I'm never ashamed to look like a complete fool. Speaking of that, I love playing Magic the Gathering, so much so that I kind of think I play it a little bit too much, and I have some opinions. So now, XtremeTVOnline.com and XWW Wrestling on YouTube presents my podcast where I talk about Magic the Gathering. It's the Goblin Grenade Podcast. That is right, Magic the Gathering Goblin Grenade Podcast back in action after a 1-week layoff, and I'll tell you why. My computer, the old PC, is barking in the big chuck wagon in the sky, if you know what I mean. It was, it had been on its last legs for longer than I should have been keeping it. So the last edit I was doing for another promotion, and the show was great. The edit was a nightmare because my hardware and my software and the computer was just going. If anything could be in quotations, anything crash, blank crash, just put anything on that, and it probably happened to me on this one. So finally, after struggling for 2 weeks with the edit because it kept crashing that much and I have a job to do, I got it done. And then when it went to uploading, it wasn't happening. It was definitely not happening on my Google Drive, so at a certain point, I had to make the bad concession that this has to end, and I have to get a new PC. Fortunately, my awesome girlfriend and her family chipped in and got me a very early Christmas gift, and it is a severely brand new computer, and is so upgraded, and it's so gorgeous, and you'll notice why there's some, the Goblin Grenade card and XWW logo there. That is a temporary thing, ladies and gentlemen, until I can figure out some other things to put on there, because with the new software, with the new hardware comes new software, and or better running software like Streamlabs that I use. And now my camera is actually correctly aligned, whereas before apparently it was zoomed in super close to my face. And so to prevent cropping issues and prevent that weird zoom, to get the best quality camera that I can get, and this is going to be one of the next upgrades I do, I decided to keep it natural and then just put, the Goblin Grenade and the XWW logo on there for now. Even the microphone, the last episode I apologize because the mic levels were really bad and I didn't know it. Everything was fine. And then I put it up on YouTube and you can barely hear it unless you cranked your TV up. And it's funny because my girlfriend had said she's had to do that for all of them. But when I test it, everything's fine, and then it finally came. I was like, oh, God, yeah, bad things had happened. So, new computer. The show did get put up, finally. So, I'm proud of the work that I did on it, because every obstacle I had to climb over and basically leave the old computer, which is still next to my bed right now, kicking and screaming as it wants to just stop working. And he's like, I'm tired, boss. And I'm sorry, I had to give it one last go. So what does that mean? Well, I did say this year upgrades, the unboxing of this, and it's not because of the new PC. It's not because I'm flexing. I'm learning DaVinci now because I can actually run DaVinci Resolve on this thing. I was using Sony Vegas, Magix, whatever you want to call it, on that, and it's an okay program. But it was showing its age, and that thing also was showing its age, and now I have a feeling DaVinci Resolve is going to be making my life 1,000% easier. Being said, though, I'm going to have to learn a lot of things, because now I'm actually using a legitimate, if you can, editor. Not that Vegas wasn't a legitimate editor, but it was definitely the entry point into paying for an editor. And I paid for that like 7 years ago. So, yeah, I had Vegas Pro 16. That's what I was using as of last week. The last week of April of 2024. Vegas Pro 16. And I'm not even going to try to get anything else for this other than Resolve. Sorry for the lighting here. It's a rare unboxing video because you know, in the beginning of the year when I said upgrades, big shout out to my girlfriend and her family for giving me my early Christmas gift, because some of you are aware, the last Apple City Championship Wrestling edit was a nightmare. Not because the product was bad, no, it actually was one of the best shows I got the privilege to edit. The problem was my computer. It did every problem that you could think of. Crashes, hard drive crashes, OS crashes, any other type of thing that you can think of in a computer crashing, it happened. Then when I finally got it rendered up, it was impossible to upload to my Google Drive. So I increased the size of my Google Drive, and the file still wouldn't upload. So I'm like, all right, well, it's definitely a Wi-Fi problem, because it is a 7-year-old computer, 8-year-old, I think, at this point, that I've been using for the past few years. It's 8 years old now, and the Wi-Fi card is utter garbage. So at this point, I went from maybe upgrading the computer to just saying, you know what, let's just try to get a new one, because at this point, even if I upgrade the old one, I'm still going to encounter these problems. So we have a awesome new tower here, and we're gonna open this up very gently so I don't go to the ER, because that would be awkward. The basics: Intel i7 20 core, RTX 4060, 8GB graphics card, 32 gig of DDR5 RAM at 5200 megahertz, a terabyte hard drive with more capabilities to store more, awesome overall fans. I will actually have adequate heating and cooling properties in this, with all the fans and the exhausts and the radiators, which is a new thing because that thing does not have radiators at all. So it's going to be quite possibly one of the biggest upgrades in not just my podcast, but in since I got into the business of wrestling almost 4 years ago at this point, because that old iBuy Power that I have is a workhorse. It USA Main Event during the shutdown era, Titan Wrestling Southside, a couple other promotions that I no longer associate with, new current USA Main Event, Cam Jackson's, no, not Block Party, but James Johnson's Ground Zeroes. They've all been edited on this thing, and with a very crappy program. Now I can actually upgrade to DaVinci Resolve, because this thing can definitely run it. And I'm going to do my best to take it out gently, because, oh boy, here's the new keyboard and mouse. So by the way, my mouse on the other one hasn't really worked adequately for 3 years. And I know it's going to be heavy, because I brought this all the way up into my bedroom when it got delivered. And then I immediately went to XWW Battlefield. Didn't even get to set it up. Had to wait till the next day because I got home so late and I was really tired, because it was a really great show. That's what happens when you blow your voice out, and that's why I sound like the way I do right now. So let's hope I don't this up 10 different ways to Sunday, because I have experienced and seen on YouTube and whatnot people dropping these damn things. One other thing in the box, and that's the empty box. All right, unboxing done. No, I'm kidding. Why am I filming this? Well, because I want to. I'm very happy that my girlfriend and her family got me a very early Christmas gift for this. Ooh, buddy. I'm opening up the wrong side. You know what? Let's lower this camera a little bit, spin this bad boy around. And yeah, we're gonna flip cameras real quick. Oh yeah. Yeah boy. I'm gonna do a test fit to see if it works in the current fitting that I have, because I have two shelves holding up my PC from the ground because it won't fit on the it won't fit on my computer desk, especially now with the two monitors. Before I continue anything else, clean up a little bit more. Before I continue anything else, let's clean up a little bit more. All right. Airflow will be an issue. I don't want to put it on the ground either, but that'll be a future problem. That's the back. That's the front. Yeah. As I now grab the instructions and read. Unscrew the screws from the left side and remove the helm. Okay, your boy's an idiot. I had it wrong side. And this is allegedly, I don't want to, yeah, this just comes out like that. We gently, as it says, take out this, which is a protective bag that expands, but it doesn't tighten anything up. It just covers things up. It just makes it so it doesn't rattle and shit, man, which occasionally still will happen. So now we have a camera to show everything on this. I don't even have an extra light anyway. You know what? Bloom. So we got to make sure everything is plugged in. It's a, you know, RTX 460, not one of the super ones, but you know, it is going to be more than adequate for what I'm doing. But you see those fans, 3 there. I think there's one down there. There's one back here. Tons of ventilation here for it. The dims are in place. I did some research, so I know what I'm talking about. There's our hard drive. It is M.2. And at worst, the power supply is down there. And this is tempered glass, so I got to be hella careful, but it does snap in very easily. So yeah, we're about to hook it up. My RGB keyboard mouse combo. Because I'm not gaming, I don't need a crazy mouse at all. And that's why I was okay with my other mouse being broken-ish for the last few years, because I don't game on PC. I mean, except for Magic the Gathering Arena, but that's it. Nothing else. Yeah, boy. All pertinent information will be edited out. Ooh, that is a smaller keyboard. Heavy too. going to take some getting used to this one, especially with the RGB stuff on there. Mouse, and I know they're bare bones models, do not care. Yep, those should be fine. So that was the keyboard and mouse. Now we get to the fun stuff, hooking it up. So it's relatively good. There's some clearance, not as much as I would like, but it's not touching the floor. I will find something to replace with that. Now we're gonna come over here, and I don't even know if you can see me. I'll do my best. Cramped quarters in here, that's for sure. I'm gonna hook up the HDMIs to the computer now. So at this point, all I really have to do is just hook up the HDMIs, and maybe the camera. Let's see where this one. Yep, that's first one. Now we're gonna totally get in the way of the shot. So after some careful wire managing, I actually can't do dual monitors right now because it has 3 display ports. I will work on that later. Wi-Fi card has antennas, yo. That's insane. I have the Yeti mic, my webcam, which will be the next thing replaced, the mouse and the keyboard hooked up. And let me put it in perspective of I've gained some space. And I'm okay with that. But the Yeti mic is right there with my thing. And now I'm going to plug that plug in, plug everything up, get the lights situated, and we'll fire it up. Look at this. Even the RAM has RGB. Are you kidding me? All the fans have it. Little bit of an update. It is now, don't know if you can see that, the aerial shot. It is next to my computer desk, elevated up with those same shelves that I had on it before, so it's not on the ground. Took a day or two after getting everything fired up and ready to go to figure out minor issues involving Visual C++ and just figuring out that, you know, I had to troubleshoot that a file was installing in the background that didn't exist. The Wi-Fi card as well is a 6G capable Wi card. I didn't know that. I had to make sure it was only using 5G. So far I have DaVinci on there, OBS on there, Arena, Fallout 1, Fallout 2. And that is it on this PC so far. Uploaded all my wrestling footage as well of stuff that I was working on and have worked on just in case I need it in the background. And I'm going to do some more stuff. This is probably in the middle of the podcast. So back to you, Dom in the past, who's just talking probably about Fallout 4 Next Gen update at this point. So we have a few things that has happened since then that I wanted to talk about last week, but, you know, PC issues aside, we have the Fallout 4 Next Gen update. We have Thunder Junction being a success. Modern Horizon 3 massive leaks. And finally, Diablo 4 Season 4 Loot Reborn. But I want to get into the main topic is Fallout 4 Next Generation update. Next Gen update dropped because of the Fallout TV show, which was fantastic. The Fallout TV show was amazing, especially me being a fan, somebody who's deep into the lore, somebody who actually has played the first 2 games eons ago. I even have the Interplay CD of the collection of the Fallout games. Doesn't work on this PC anymore because it doesn't have a disk drive, but I got Game Pass Ultimate, so yeah, I re-downloaded Fallout 1 and 2, and I'm going to play those for a bit. I I've been playing 3. I've been playing New Vegas. Even 76 again since the TV show came out. And then as I was patiently waiting for the next-gen update for Fallout 4. And you know what? It's a mixed bag. So console players like myself got the hookup for the most part. PC players got the shortest end of the stick. And I feel so bad for the PC players of Fallout 4 with this next-gen update. Because overall, across the board, all the mods broke. Okay, that was expected. Mods breaking because, they've updated the game for the first time in, years to coincide with the TV show. That was expected. With the Creation Club missions, with the Enclave stuff, with some of the other things that they put in there, Creation Club is the paid DLC that modders made. So much respect to that. I played the missions the first day. They were great. A lot of assets were missing on the console version. Big rectangular and triangle exclamation points. And I know from my years of playing video games and seeing how broken things can be that that's not a good sign. And that just basically means the asset is missing. So yes, I can actually have the weapons that you get from the Creation Club stuff. And if I try to hold it, I am literally holding nothing. You can see my character doing this, and then there's nothing else involved. It is really bad. For the fact that this was delayed a year. And I'm not even getting into the PC talk. Oh boy, PC. They kneecapped this. They kneecapped PC players completely with this update. All mods are broke. It actually made it run worse on PC. Not even without the mods. Just the base game itself runs worse with not modded now on PC. And it's like the console players, we kind of got it I feel bad because how painless the console players experience was. Now, mind you, one of the things I said in the last episode that I did was I hope they up the memory that you can use for mods on console. They did the exact opposite. I currently have 0 kilobytes available of 0 kilobytes. I can't download any mod. You can't download anything mod related on the console version. And I am one of the ones that has that big error of 0 space available. Even though, and it deleted my mods too. Deleted all the mods I had. So hopefully I can get some of those back. But I have a sneaky suspicion some of them will never be available again. And it's rough. And I say that because I have the winter. My main mods was the unofficial Fallout 4 patch, Boston AIO, Boston FPS fix, the Winter Wonderland, which basically just made everything snowy. Clean my settlement, which basically means every settlement is scrapped at a touch of a button, so I'm not wasting 2 hours scrapping every stupid settlement. Did that twice. I don't need to do it ever again. Zombie walkers, a little additions to gore, a little more additions to zombie effects so they look a little worse for wear, and a couple weapons and sounds and a sound pack for guns, the realistic gun mods, so you can hear background stuff and a little better and a little clearer. And I don't know if any of those are going to be available again because, ooh boy, I can't download anything. And I'm not going to wait for Bethesda to fix it because apparently it's going to take forever for Bethesda to fix it. Now, it's gotten to the point that one of the top mods right now on PC is the Fallout 4 downgrader, to downgrade it from the next-gen update to what Fallout 4 was a few weeks ago. That's when you know you done it up A-Ron. And why I am actually kind of upset at Bethesda over this was delayed for a year to coincide with the TV show. So this was supposed to come out February of last year, and they delayed it till now. Nobody knew why. We could guess that it was because of the TV show, but you have such high success with the TV show and such high praise, and then you immediately Bethesda your way into Fallout 4 and just making it completely bad. So it's the Bethesda way, Bethesda being Bethesda, and basically hitting a home run and then managing to strike out at the same time. Only Bethesda can do it, and that's the Bethesda way, because they've been so preoccupied with Starfield, and I don't know why. It's a dead game. Stop it. Just do the one big DLC and then just let it go. It's and I already said it's bad enough that there is no new Fallout game available after the TV show came out, and I already said Todd Howard needs to resign or be demoted. However, that would work because it's embarrassing that there was nothing but the next-gen console update, which everyone was hyped for, and the next-gen console update was a gigantic wet fart of a water balloon, just filled with wet fart gas that you released to everybody. It's been 12 minutes. I can be a little bit vulgar here, and I think it's deserved. I mean, Fallout 4 next-gen update is just... Console players, as like myself, I dig it. I am playing an unmodded Fallout 4 for the first time in a while, but I know PC players are rightfully and justifiably pissed off. And console players too, like me, like some of my mods, I don't think I'll ever be able to get back, because I don't think those people are going to be are even doing mods anymore. They could have moved on with their lives before. I'm talking mods that were released 5 years ago and have never seen a single update because everything was working fine until 2 weeks ago. So who knows? I know the mod community out there in Fallout 4 is doing a bang-up job, doing awesome things, trying to fix everything. Fallout London got delayed because of the next-gen mod, and Fallout 4 London is a mod. Fallout London is a mod created by these amazing group of people, and they had to delay it because they knew the next-gen update was going to screw everything up. And then now they're concerned about Starfield. And as I was saying, like circling back, that there was nothing available. Now Microsoft is even said, we anticipate a new Fallout game, hopefully sooner than you think, because according to Todd Howard, a week like before the show came out, the next Fallout game was going to come out in like 2032. It would have been over 10 years from numbered single-player Fallout games. You can count 76, but proper sequel to Fallout would have been 10 years. Only one company can get away with doing that, and that's Blizzard, because theirs is supported. People still play Diablo 2, even Resurrected and the original version, 20-plus years later. I still play Diablo 3. I play Diablo 2 again with the new Xbox X because I can actually kill Andariel in the end of the second act, because the load screen is like that. Whereas by the time it was loaded in, he had already killed me. And that was a problem I was just going to have to deal with. And I was like, I'm going to pause. I'm going to wait till I get the Xbox X and then do it again. And you know what? I was able to do it because it takes like a half a second to a second to load in that boss fight. So he's not immediately, eating my corpse by the time it loads in. I'm also having a lot of fun with my Xbox X. I'm not going to lie. This PC is a monster. And you know what's going to be used for it? Arena and editing. That's it. That's all I do. I am a console player through and through by heart. I know I downloaded Fallout 1 and 2 on PC because Game Pass, and it's because I want to play those games. But those are point and clicks. I don't have to worry about rapid fire succession, so I'll never download Fallout 76. I won't download Fallout 4 here. I'm going to play those on the console. And the worst part about this next-gen update mistake is every single Fallout game had a significant spike in players since the TV show. New and returning players. Fallout 76 just had 1 million players concurrently, I think, at one time. They've never had those numbers. And I don't care what some people think, especially if you played it earlier. Fallout 76 is actually really good as a single-player campaign experience if you want to treat it like that. That just has some occasional, multiplayer shenanigans involved. It's infinitely better than it was at launch. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I get it. It's a Bethesda game, first off. Second off, if you treat it like a single-player game, you're going to have fun. I guarantee it. You're going to enjoy it. So, especially now with humans being in there, like Wastelanders really was the turning point for that game. because now it's an actual proper Fallout game with quests and missions and all these other things. And I really did appreciate the game pre-Wastelanders. I appreciated what they were trying to do. You were the first people out of a vault after the nuclear war. So yes, there should be no humans in that area. You should just be running into the decaying corpse, a decaying 25-year corpse of what that town and area would be. So robots would only be things. And you will hear nothing but like holotapes of people in the past that are dead. I loved what they were trying to go for. It just didn't execute it properly because it's a multiplayer game. But now, if you play it, especially if you have Game Pass, it's free. You're going to enjoy it, but treat it as a single-player campaign. You'll have fun, trust. Fallout 4 had significant player numbers, and then the next-gen update happened. Fallout 3 had significant increase. New Vegas had a ginormous increase in players because New Vegas is still the best next generation. Since Fallout 3 changed how Fallouts were, New Vegas is still the best Fallout game. And I still love that game. And I'm loving the playthrough that I'm doing right now. I even went back and bought some of the gun runners and stuff like that again. And yes, it's flawed completely and utterly. It's flawed completely and utterly. But you're going to have fun with it. So that's so Bethesda that they have all this praise and people playing their games, the Fallout franchise, and then they drop that next-gen update, and, enough said. Now, hopefully in a couple weeks, everything gets repaired. Hopefully I can start downloading mods again on that, because I can't even do that. I click on the mod, it's like, you have 0 of 0 space available. So please, Bethesda, fix that. And turns out that they're not even increasing the mod space for consoles, even though they've already are on record saying that it's easy to do. They just have to adjust a number. Give us 5 gig like Skyrim has, please. I want to play Sim Settlements 1 and 2. It's probably the best mod if you're into the Sim stuff, like the settlement stuff. It completely changes everything. Sim Settlements 1 and 2 are the best mods for the game that doesn't alter everything about the game and still keeps that flow and vibe while still maintaining a core mechanic of the game, which is the settlements. I can't play it because you get 2 gig of space on consoles. Please give us 5, Bethesda. At least hook us up with that. I was also very angry when I heard that too. So now that is Fallout in a nutshell. And now we are going to our next, Thunder Junction. Outlaws of Thunder Junction, a set that I said I did not like drafting. The environment was bad. I scrapped a video because I was not having fun with the girlfriend on my birthday playing playing Magic the Gathering. Turns out it's actually been somewhat of a success. Now, was this Wizards chicanery coming through in the end? Was it the fact that they made stores do certain things to get Commander precons by running a weekly draft, which would up every store buying 4 more boxes of Outlaws of Thunder Junction? Because if you need a reminder, Wizards only counts the numbers that the distributors buy. That's it. It's not in-store. It's not your LGS. It's not Walmart. It's not anything like that. They only count how much distributors bought. And up until they pulled that fiasco because Markov Manor was a ginormous fail, they did the store draft initiative to get the Commander, the Modern Horizons 2 Premium Edition Commander decks. You needed to run 4 drafts in a month, once a week. And on average, your typical store needs to have a box available for the draft. So that means 4 extra boxes across every LGS in the northern United States, in America, Canada. That's a lot of stores. So there's a lot of product. And apparently, people like the theme of it. Everybody was mad at Markov Manor because they were all detectives wearing the detective hats, and I get it. It was in Ravnica, and now all of a sudden everybody's a detective. There's now 11 guilds is the running gag in Ravnica, and the 11th is detectives. But this one, everyone's in cowboy gear, but cowboy gear, wow, I need to drink something after that one. Uh-oh. But with the cowboy gear, it's a new plane. It's a new plane. So there is no preconceived notion about what Thunder Junction would be. What does that mean for Bloomborough? I'm going to go on record and say I feel Bloomborough is going to be the greatest Magic set in a while. Might even be. I loved Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. It was my favorite draft format. It was my favorite standard format. It was my favorite set in the last 5 years. I think Bloomborough might be it. Bloomborough might be just as good as Neon Dynasty. Theme-wise, thematic-wise, draft-wise, standard-wise, because we will have our first standard rotation by then, I think, or relatively close after. Buy all cards that I don't like, that I see in standard, that I've been playing in standard for 4 years. But it's good. And you know what? After some of the chaos involved in Wizards of the Coast's management turmoil, with the CEO the president leaving and whatnot, they needed a win, and they got a win. I have bought all that I want of Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I will buy singles if need be for commanders. I just upgraded my Kaiser deck from Fallout or Caesar. It's Kaiser because it's a Fallout deck to make it more on theme with the bad guys. I took literally almost every good guy out of the set because I was like, why is McCready here? Why is this person here? It's Kaiser. They're the evil guys. And I got a couple cards that make sense, and a lot of the Fallout cards, a couple more Fallout cards in those colors that were the bad people to put in there. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful now. And then I improved Dogmeat by taking some of the good guys that I took out of the Kaiser deck and put it in Dogmeat. So Dogmeat got a little bit of an upgrade. I wanted to keep it as out of the box as possible, but I did not improve it that much. I'm not making any cataclysmic game-breaking decisions here. It's still the same Dogmeat deck. It's still doing the same Dogmeat things. It's an equipment deck. Okay, moving on. So, I drafted Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Just today, actually. Quick draft, because it was the first time I've been able to play Arena on a computer in weeks, because that's the other thing. Like, everything was going bad on this computer. I couldn't even play Arena. And it's because of the Wi-Fi card in the old computer is 7 years old. Yeah, this one is baller. Like, I had to actually downgrade the potency of it because it was running at 6G, and I needed to be running it at 5G, and it took me a while. So that was a quick. Outlaws of Thunder Junction is a success. Everyone's having fun with it. I'm glad for them. I haven't had fun. I didn't have fun playing it, but I'm definitely the exception to the rule on that one, and I'm glad. Wizards needed a hit. With Modern Horizons 3 being guaranteed to be a home run, it's good. It's good to have back-to-back successes. Speaking of Modern Horizons 3, awesome segue, Dom Douglas. Massive leaks happened. Leaks are a part of Magic the Gathering itself, and they've been going on forever when new sets come out. Cards are going to get leaked. Heck, entire sets have been leaked months in advance, and you can look those stories up online. It happened a long time ago where they actually used to give you a printed 3-ring binder of every printed card and how they were going to look and what they were going to do. Some of those have leaked online months before the set came out. Interesting stories, and it led to, I think, a player or two being banned for life because of it. But they had a similar leak with Modern Horizons 3, and Wizards of the Coast, I don't know if they've been on this trying to save themselves kick or changing the culture of the corporate side of things. They handled it well. They actually did a very funny post with all the cards that had been leaked like way before, and just kind of did a tongue-in-cheek type of thing, and said, like, they spoiled everything. They wrote a column about it. Whoever wrote it, kudos to you. I'm forgetting your name. I don't have 2 monitors at the moment because my graphics card only has 1 HDMI and 3 display ports, and I only have 2. I only have HDMI, so I got to buy a display port to get the other monitor going. So I can't look at the other monitor and say, oh, this is the person. Whoever wrote that article, kudos to you. It was a great article. Awesome humor, awesome tongue-in-cheek way of taking it on the chin. Like, and kind of going into how they've also talked about how they're going to try to prevent leaks, because sometimes these leaks do affect their content creators. Like, your Tolarian community colleges, your Loading Ready Runs, your Jim Davises, your, Power Dragons, the MTG, like, it affects those channels because sometimes they get that card, and sometimes, like Tolarian and LOR, they will do a fully written, skidded, edited video, just, to spoil the card. And when most of the Magic the Gathering community finds out about that spoiler, those videos that they were working on are now going to take a significant hit. Also, LOR is filming in a week, I think, Friday nights to come out later in the year. I can't wait. I'm going to watch all Friday nights, too, again. I've actually watched it once already earlier in the year. It's one of my favorite shows. Between them and Tolarian Community College is why I've stayed in Magic the Gathering. Because they remind me of the fun. But when they put a lot of work and effort into a scripted video, and the card that they were going to spoil gets spoiled weeks in advance, that's kind of heartbreaking, but part of the course. But it shouldn't be part of the course anymore. So kudos on Wizards for treating the Modern Horizons 3 spoilers as they did. I'm hoping to play some Modern Horizons 3. Modern Horizons 2 was very, very good to me. And who knows? We'll see how that goes. I'm patiently waiting, but it's one of those sets where I'm going to have to do a lot of research if I want to have any shot at winning a game at pre-release or drafts or anything like that. And then finally, it's going to be a quick podcast today, folks. I'm sorry. Finally, we have Diablo 4 Season 4 revealed. Now, we know they've said it's Loot Reborn and they're changing the loot game, but literally that's the season theme. Diablo 4 Season 4 Loot Reborn. I like it. It's not just Loot Reborn. They've fundamentally changed how loot behaves in the game. What numbers drops, what affixes drop. They got rid of half of the affixes. There's no more 10% chance on Tuesdays to do 10% critical damage to this particular type of enemy. It's 3 stats that all loot drops with, and it will drop, and the big key stat will drop for your character, whatever you need. So if you're a barbarian, it's going to drop with strength. If you're a sorcerer, it's going to drop with, intelligence. It'll drop correct gear for what class you're playing at the moment. The pit sounds awesome. It is their version of Greater Rifts, and you get more stuff to rework with. Masterworking sounds amazing for gear. You don't level your gear up anymore by going to the armorer. You can masterwork it after a certain level. You can masterwork anything. Much better drops, much better loot tables, if you will happen. Easier access to a couple of things. Helltides actually have been reworked and are using, I think, Season 2's vampire theme as a catalyst for what the new Helltides do with the Iron Wolves, and helping out and getting into the fight finally, and just having the threat levels go up to 3, and then when you pop the 3rd level, you get a boss fight. Love it. It's what the vampires did, and that's what made Season 2 so awesome. Some people are upset that Loot Reborn is there's no season theme. The season theme is the Iron Wolves coming back and the Loot Reborn. This is this is Diablo 4's Loot 2.0. which was in Diablo 3, when Diablo 3 actually got really good and really awesome and infinitely better than it was. Loot 2.0 drops and changed the entire game and how it was played. And I think it's going to be the same way with Season 4. And I'm all for it. I want to play it on my Xbox. But the problem is, I don't like Season 3. And I've done everything I could in Season 3. So there's no point for me going back. So I started Path of Exile with the Xbox. And I on my Xbox One, I could hit a certain level on Path of Exile, like right at mapping, and that was it. Can't progress any further. There's too much lag. There's too much blah. But with the new Xbox X being beefy, and especially with the better Wi-Fi card in it, I can actually do maps now, and I can see why some people didn't like this season for Path of Exile. I hate wasting a map and having bad affixes and still having to run it just in case I get some good loot. That's always bad. But I haven't even been playing that because I've been so busy with that edit on the old computer and then setting up the new computer. I just haven't had time. I'm going to do some of that tonight, actually. But with Diablo 4, Season 4, Loot Reborn, I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's going to be fun. Codex of Power has been completely changed. You don't have to have all these shards on you anymore. Anytime you trash a weapon or sacrifice the weapon to like the armor, the weaponsmith, and it has a Codex of Power in there, if you don't have that, you get it, and you get 12 different levels, and depending on where it is and all that other stuff, you can always have access to the Codex of Powers as long as you scrap the item with it. So yeah, I think Diablo 4 Season 4 is going to be an amazing season. I'm going to play as much as humanly possible as I can. So that is it. We have covered Fallout 3, my new PC, Thunder Junction, Modern Horizons 3, and my initial impressions of Diablo 4 Season 4 revealed being Loot Reborn. Pretty good week, actually. Except if you're Bethesda, because you're still dealing with the next gen Fallout 4 update. But I like it. I know it's going to be slapdashed. Even the title card of this episode may be jacked up a little bit because I'm going to have to figure something out. But that being said, thank you for listening on XtremeTVOnline.com or on our wrestling channel, the XWW Wrestling on YouTube. My name's been Dom Douglas, the back-to-back commentator of the year for XWW. May your top deck always be mythic. This PC is so good, I kind of don't deserve it.